Good morning, everyone. We are live, and I'm just logging into the pivot scanner, and we have a little bit of dropped frames, so we are going to look if that is going to get better. I see my voice is in front of the video, so let's see if that's going to get better in a session soon. They are saying my connection was interrupted. Trying to get this stable online. One of the last days that I will actually be trading from the lobby, guys. I bought my whole trading setup yesterday. So from 4 January, I will be trading on a trade station again with 3 screens. That will also give us a little bit more abilities to show different things during the go live sessions, and I also will be able to see the chat while I'm also seeing the chart. So I'm really looking forward to that. Needed to buy this whole trade setup and unpacked everything this morning. Put everything ready upstairs, but we don't have our fiber cables upstairs yet. So they should also come within 1 or 2 days. So we are going to really get ready for 2021. Now, without further ado, I want to start directly with the 4 topics that we are going to start this year or end this year with, the holiday seasons, holiday sessions. We did 4 sessions last year. We spoke about hedging, we spoke about account management, we spoke about traders motivation, and we spoke about how to make a trading plan. Now, for this year, we will add to that today we are going to show how we can use short-term trading with Infinity. And if you really want to do any trading in the upcoming 4 days, it's actually possible to do that with short-term trading. So I'm personally not trading this Christmas week, which means we had Christmas last weekend and we are going for New Year's on Thursday night. So we have 3.5 trading days, but I'm personally not actively trading. So that's why we do those extra trade sessions here, those holiday sessions with theory, not with live trades. So today we're going to look into short-term trading with the Infinity tool. Tomorrow we are going to look into extra useful indicators that you can use with the Infinity tools. Wednesday we are going to look into trading gold, silver, UK oil, US oil, exotic pairs and crypto. This was something that was requested by different people. Some people asked really gold or silver metals. Other people ask for oils, other people ask for exotics, and other people ask for crypto. So as I'm mostly a forex trader, I think it's good to put one session together regarding all those extra tools and all those extra financial instruments, so you can see what the options are with the Infinity tools. Among the last one of this year is the preparation for 2021. So we will remind everyone about the importance of a trading plan, and we will also work on other things. So I'm really happy to see so many people here live on this Christmas week. I see Dallas, Texas is in the house. There's people from Nigeria online, the Netherlands, Belgium, Hawaii, more people from Belgium. Excited, ready. Go live had some challenges today. Yes, I saw that. But I needed to log in a couple of times, but we are live now, so that's most important. And will I put them in my favorites? Yeah, absolutely, I put them on my favorites, and I will also put them on YouTube as little teasers for people who want to learn more into 2021. So the holiday sessions are also all on my YouTube channel. So if you want to look at the ones from last year, you can go to my YouTube channel and you can see them there. Okay, a little bit of water, done, and let's go. Let's see what we can do here together. I logged in into pivots. I'm going to open the Infinity tools. And now my voice and video is synchronized, so that is really good. Almost synchronized. Alright guys, so we will very shortly go over the last trades from last week. Here we had the target area to close before Friday. Aud NZD. Just opening the session breaks. This was Friday, and here we had the target area. This was our entry on the Monday, and we had our take profit 1 levels in the target area. It spiked a couple of times there. It was definitely important to close on Friday. As you see, the market was going up and down. Make sure you close in blue, don't keep it over Christmas. So I'm deleting this pattern. They're putting some furniture together here in the lobby today, so it's a little bit more noisy than before. Here we had a trade, take profit 1, take profit 2. Actually hit take profit 2 on a Friday with a wick and opened even higher today. So I also put here, make sure you close in blue. I don't keep it over Christmas. So we are out of all trades. There's no open trades right now. I'm just doing this to clean it up. AUD NZD, but that were 2 profitable trades. And here we had a buy stop on the last Thursday. And the buy stop never activated. The uptrend didn't continue. And therefore we were never in the trade. So we can delete this trade. I don't know why I didn't delete it on Friday, because we expired it at the end of the day. So here at the end of the day, not activated, delete all pending orders. Now, here we go guys, short-term trading with Infinity. Now, what you first want to do is you want to find a trade, and we are really lucky that AUD CAD is directly a good example. You want to find a trade that you would like to trade on the 15 minutes. So the 15 minutes, here we have Infinity, the major trend line, the minor trend line, and the entry line. I'm going to repeat a little bit of theory and then add more to it. So we are going to draw, and I'm just going to use AUD CAD because it is a good example. So here we have the major trend line, and the major trend line is always the trend line of the next time frame. Now the next time frame in this case is the 1 hour. In this case on M15. Alright, so we are on the M15 and the next time frame is 1 hour. So the major trend line is the one from the next time frame. Now then we have the minor trend line. It's a little bit closer to the price. The minor trend is the current time frame, which in this case is M15. In this case on M15. Alright. And then the third infinity line is here, very close to the price. It's the entry line. If the entry line is the same color as the other 2 levels, which means all 3 of them green or all 3 of them red, that would mean that we are in a certain trend. So we are in a trend on the 1 hour, we are in a trend on the 15 minutes, and we have an entry line. So your major trend is what we also call, if you open the settings, this was just to make it easier, but the official is the confirmation line. The official trend line. So let me just say this is the official trend line. Then we have a confirmation on the current trend line, and then we have an entry, and this moment is the entry high. So it can, if it's red, it will be the entry low. Then we also have Kumo clouds, red and green lines and things, and we also have some arrows. So looking to the arrows, here we have a buy signal, here we have a buy signal, and here we have a buy signal. Now, in the next version of Infinity, we will make a new version. The buy will only come when it actually is fully above the cloud. So at this moment, the buy signals are coming when it's in the cloud or above the cloud. So when the entry line switches from red, as you see here, red, to green, we will have the buy signal. So if I just for a second turn off the cloud, you can turn off the cloud, not remove the lines of the cloud. But here you see the red line turning into green, you get a buy signal. The red line turning into green, you get a buy signal. But you only get it when the price is above the cloud. So here you see a red turning to green, but there's no buy arrow. So that means that when we open the cloud again, here you see that we go from red to green, and that switch is fully under the cloud. So that it doesn't even touch the cloud line, it's fully under the cloud. That means we don't get a buy signal. Now that buy, of course, is great a little bit later. So this is just still infinity theory, alright? We all know that. This one is a bad entry. That's why we don't give an entry, because we want for the buy to be above the cloud. So these are the really nice buy moments. This is too early, and here's a nice buy moment. Now we don't get that arrow because the arrow is only generated at the switch of the entry line from red to green or green to red. It will give sell entries, but it needs to be red, red, red under the cloud. So we will check if we can find an example for that one as well. I'm first going all over the theory, guys. If you have any questions, feel free to use the chat box. And if you watch this later on YouTube, feel free to put questions below in the chat in the comment section, and I will answer them. And you might even get answers from the community that is already using the Infinity tool. But I will do it at the end of the session. Okay, we continue to go up. Just double checking if everything here looks good. Yeah. So we continue to go up. Now, having those lines and all this trend, this confirms that we are in an uptrend. So the only thing what we don't want to do is sell. Now, when we know that, we can write down on a little notepad AUD CAD for the buy. What I'm personally doing, going to short-term trading, you want to find the best option to trade. So you already identified AUD CAD going up, which means that you want to find confirmation that AUD is going up on other 15-minute time frames. So AUD CHF going up as well. It's not a tradable pair because it's on the top of pivots, but it's a confirmation that it's going up. AUD JPY also going up from R6 to R8. Going back to AUD CAD, we have under R6 to R8. So both of them are good for short-term trading. This one is a little bit less risky. If you check the pips to today's high, it's not a lot. So to today's high is just 6-7 pips. But still, for short-term trading, we might go for 6, 11 or 15 pips. Then AUD NZD. Is it an uptrend as well? It's not. It's like a sideways trend. We have red, red and green. So the major trend is green. It was uptrending, but it went very, very shallow in the week before Christmas. So as you see here, before we were in an uptrend, and after 22 December, it's not really a uptrend anymore. We have here double top, 2 highs, and then it's what we call flat line. So if you here see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 days, 4, 5 days, on those 5 days there's not really a trend anymore. You also see that the difference between the trend line, major trend line, minor trend line, that the distance between those two became smaller and the minor trend line became red. So that means that you don't want to buy anymore at all. You need green, green, green out of the cloud. This is still a buy. Green, green, green out of the cloud. This is still a buy. These are the harder ones, but it's possible. Green, green, green out of the cloud. This is still a buy. But here, green, red, green. is when you already see that the minor trend line is red for a while. For me, that's a very, very big warning, and definitely not buying mode anymore. So here you get buying signals, and this one even looks good if you look after it, but I wouldn't do that anymore. For me, the pair here is really disqualified. The minor trend line starts to move down, which means it eventually will turn red. We are under the cloud. This becomes war zone for us. Don't do anything. Anyway, AUD NZD was an uptrend. Then AUD USD is in a moving up as well. You see here green, green, green buy, green, green, green buy. Very nice options, currently up too high. Then Euro AUD needs to move down because AUD is the second pair. We had really nice sell opportunities here, but only for the last Thursday, Friday. So it's not really a trend. And GBP AUD, GBP is a little bit more leading in this pair, so I'm not taking them into my AUD consideration. So we have AUD CAD and AUD JPY. And why is this important? Is because for the short-term trade, you might have multiple entries today. So what I do is during this trading session, this is my preparation to check, in this case with the AUD, which one do I want to trade. So I now know I want to trade AUD CAD and AUD JPY. Then I'm going to drop another time frame. So now you are zoomed in on today, and on the 5-minute time frame you get more buy signals. But the question is, you can even get a sell signal today. So the market can go so far up and down, is that you, in this case, this trend is pretty strong for also the Friday, but it's constantly active. So you see here red. Here you see also red. Still the major trend line is very strong, so it stays in buying mode. So if you zoom in here and you zoom in for today, okay, now we are zoomed in on today, then you see a very nice buy mode, buy opportunity at 3:45, 3:35 trading time, green, 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 above the cloud. It stays above the cloud, it stays above the cloud till it hits R6. So this is a very nice entry line, and it's 16 pips. It doesn't go back into the cloud, it really takes off. Then it becomes flat, we get a pullback, and what you want is pullbacks, because pullbacks, after pullback, there comes a new entry. Now here you see green, green, green in the cloud. That's not really good. That buy arrow should only come after it's coming out of the cloud. But when this comes out of the cloud, you have opportunity to buy again, and you can go to try to go for 9 pips. Now what's very important on the short term is that you're still looking to pivot levels of 15 minutes, because pivot cannot calculate under 15 minutes. Actually 15 minutes is already pivot levels that are not really recommended. Pivot levels of the hour are more stable. What is happening with the 15-minute pivots and why we are using those is because they really give a short-term today's trend. But if you look to the higher pairs where we said, oh, it's already R8, it's R8 on the 15 minutes. If you go to the 1 hour, you might see bigger trading space, bigger pivot levels, and you have more space to still trade. On the 15 minutes, it means that it can do a reversal before it goes to that next level, and that's why we are using the 15-minute pivots, but you can't use 5-minute pivots. Now, if we want to have even a better look, because just to conclude, here we have the 5-minute trend line. This is the current trend line, the minor trend. Current is M5. Now the line that you were looking at before as the minor trend line is now the major trend line. Now I know some people will write maybe like this, but major, like this is maybe in Dutch. So this is the next time frame, is the M15, because we are on the 5 minutes now. So the major trend line is now the M15 line. So the 1 hour trend line will be somewhere here. And we don't see that one on the 5 minutes anymore. So we are now here on the 5 minutes. So we have a major trend line, M15, we know is green. We also know that there is a green, just to draw this one, we also know that there is somewhere a green, let's say major trend, super major, which is on the H1, because we check that first. So we know that there's a super major trend at the 1 hour, we know that there's major trend on the 15 minutes, and we know that there's a minor trend on the 5 minutes. Then of course the entry level is now based on the 5 minutes, so it's even quicker and it even gives more often entry levels. So here we had the entry. Now if we go to the 1 minute, infinity also works on the 1 minute. Now here you definitely need to remember where are we going to get in. So I'm just zooming in on the same day, and in this case it gave us the same entry but a little bit later. Here was the entry at 3:20, I think it was 25 or 35. 35 maybe, 3:35. So here we see green major trend line. Now what is the major trend line? Is, so those lines are now away. The major trend line, turn off auto. So we have the 1 hour trend line that we don't see anymore. Then we have the major trend line for the 15 minutes. Now we have the minor trend line, which becomes the major trend line for the 5 minutes. Then we have the 1 minute trend line, and then we have the entry line. Now this entry line here gives us the entry very, very clearly a little bit later, 3:55. So what we saw on the 5 minutes is that you would have been a little bit too early. You see, you got the buy here at 3:35, but it first goes into still a little bit of sideways mode before it really takes off, and it really takes off at 5:55. Now you see that on the 1 minute it's even a more precise entry. So here we get, sometimes it's a bit hard with the scrolling to show things exactly as you want. So here we see that original entry, 3:35, that's where we got the buy mode. We got the buy entry on the 5 minutes, but then it still went a little bit pullback, and then after this little pullback we get the 1 minute buy entry. And that buy entry is mostly so clean that it goes straight to R6 here for 15 pips. But most important, you know when to get out at 5:16 when it goes into the cloud. So you have a very nice clean cut here to the top. And then when it goes into the cloud, you straight go out. Now, this is maybe too easy example, but what I can tell you is that on the 1 minute, you get a more clean entry. It's more clean to stay into the trend. It's more clear when to get out of the trend. And here you can directly say, okay, we think it goes R6 to R8. So you want maybe to say green, 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 entry. I want to go to R7 now. We don't know that it doesn't reach it at that point. So here you get in 5:53. You go up for about 5 pips, 4.7 pips. And it comes back to your entry and it goes into the cloud and it goes under the cloud. Now here you get a pullback, you see that entry line is red and it keeps going down. So let's say that this is your, what we normally call daily stop loss. You will probably say like, okay, if it goes wrong, here somewhere I really go out. So this is like the wrong direction. You want to go out, but look how much you lost here. You only lost 4 or 5 pips. And it became very clear that that's not a good entry. So it should go, it went 5 pips up, then it went 5 pips down, and you're like, no, 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 I'm not staying in here. This was a nice ride to R7 or higher, but you just very quickly see that it's not going as clean as here, because here you have a buy above the cloud and it just stays above the cloud. You stay in, you stay in, you stay in, you stay in, pullback doesn't matter because you're so far from the cloud. You stay in, you stay in, you stay in. Here you have R6, that's probably your take profit. But if it's not your take profit, let's say you are going for way more, or you just want to wait till to see what the market does, pull back, then you stay in. Pull back again, you're like, should I stay in? Nothing happens. Little bit again R6. That's a second decision to say, like, if it doesn't break, I need to get out. It doesn't break, it goes back and it hits the cloud. If you still cannot decide, it goes into the cloud, I would really be out by now, because we are short-term trading. So you had so much opportunity here to see that you need to stay out, to get out. And on the 15 minutes, you might have been staying in way longer. So it gives a very clear trade. Here, we don't know, it doesn't reach, but we know that when it goes down, we want to get out. Then the new opportunity, early this morning, green, 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 still in the cloud, coming out of the cloud. This is where we go in. And it went only up for 5 pips, but you see pullback, back to entry, up, above entry, up, even higher than entry. So this is definitely because it's also not really an active day. But you can just say, I'm going to buy to R6, and it's going to take a while. And that's okay. But you see, testing the cloud, testing the minor trend line and the cloud. Here, breaking the minor line and the entry line, I don't know if you guys can see it, but the entry line here turned red. So I would get out. I would say, okay, thank you. Here also you can see green, 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 green. Here I think, but we should really need to zoom in. Here I think the line went red for a second as well. It's a great exit point. It's just, okay, we went in, we had those waves, and now the entry line gets red, so let's get out. Here, green, 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 entry line here gets red, you go out in a little bit of profit. It's just that here you get out. Boom. Here, let me zoom in a bit, we will probably get out. Now you get in, and here you get out. So, why do we want multiple pairs? Is because in all this time in the middle, you're looking every minute, should I go in, should I go in, should I go in, should I stay in, should I stay in, should I go out? So it's better to have multiple pairs, because here in a time from 6 o'clock till 8 o'clock, there's 2 hours that on this pair you can do absolutely nothing. But maybe in that time frame on Aud Jpy, there's an opportunity. So to finish this pair with this simple analysis for today, we're gonna double check here, if we zoom in. Did this become red? No, it looks like we just had some red candles, but the line stayed green. Here it became red though. So when the entry line turns red, you can definitely get out. So trading straight on the 1 minute is not smart. What we wanted to do is we wanted to say Aud Jpy, and here we go again, just as another example. And we will take Friday, okay? Here you have an entry on 145. I'm going to put an arrow there. 145, you have an entry. You have an entry on at 8 o'clock. And that's it. And basically here on the 15 minutes it's already very nice. It's only above the clouds. You don't really have a lot of pullbacks, etc. But let's see what happens if you go to the 5 minutes. So here we have multiple options. You see here the entry, green, 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 above the cloud. Beautiful entry. But also very clear exit, because the entry line gets out. This is on the 15 minute. Here, entry, enter, exit. But then here we get a new entry, so we have this beautiful exit. We wait for the pullback and we can enter again on the 5 minutes. And actually the exit is here, because that's when the entry line turns red again. So on the 15 minutes we get three trades. Entry, exit, entry, exit. With a 5 minute confirmation we just exit. So this is the exit that you can only see on the 15 minutes, because remember, sorry, on the 5 minutes, because remember, on the 5 minutes you would stay in this pullback, get stressed, don't know what to do, etc., because we said, oh, it looks so nice on the 15 minutes. But by exiting here and by entering here, in this case it's just 3 pips, but you get 3 pips more, because you exit high, you wait for the pullback, and then you enter again. So those 3 pips you make double. You make them on the first trade and you make them on the second trade. So 2.5 pips times 2 is 5 pip extra. Now this is a very slow market, but if you have a quick market and you enter multiple times, where on the 15-minute chart some traders will enter 1 trade, but you find 3 better entries and 3 better exits, you in pips amount you will make more, because you go up, you wait for the pullback, you trade again, and the first part of that trade again makes you extra pips that someone with a higher time frame doesn't get. So this is the 5 minutes. Now let's go to the 1 minute. And we skip today. And now it will be interesting, even more interesting. Sorry, it's not so quickly here on the public Wi-Fi. Okay, here we go. Look how much buy opportunities you have here. And of course, in pips wise, here we have this entry. Green, green, green above the cloud. This trade was just 10 pips. This second trade here that we want entered and exit is just 15 pips. Now of course you can do the right till the cloud, stop. Out of the cloud till the cloud, or till the change of color, stop. Now I think that's Juris playing in the same lobby. Yeah, it is. Sounds like my son. So basically, let me just zoom in more, because it's very good to see what this does on the 1 minute. I'm just taking this middle, right? So here we go. From the morning, we can enter. Green, green, green above the cloud. Actually, same entry as the 15 minutes. Oh, sorry, the 5 minutes. So the 15 minutes let us enter here. We get better confirmation on the 5 minutes and on the 1 minute. We enter. We take the first right, 7 pips, going down, red entry, and we get out. So this was the 5 minute trend in one time. Now we are going with another color. Let me use purple and a little bit thicker line. So we're going in at the same point and we're going out at this point. Then we wait a few minutes, 1 minute by 1 minute, we don't know what to do, and here we see the price is taking off again. We are going, enter, all the way up, back to the red, the moment that the entry line from the 1 minute becomes red again. Then we do nothing. Here we get new buy signal. Green, green, green above the cloud after pullbacks. We enter and it stays above the cloud. See, it touches the cloud, it goes to the same support level, it goes up, it here goes into the cloud, but the entry line stays green, because otherwise we would have new buy levels. We also got extra buy arrows, and I said last week when you get extra buy arrows in the higher time frame is not good if you have multiple buy arrows in a row, because it means that the market is doubting to go your direction, because it means yes, go for the buy, pull back, go for the buy, pull back, go for the buy, and it's like, are we really going to buy? So on the higher time frames, it's not good to have multiple buy signals in a row or multiple sell signals in a row. On the short time frame, theoretically it's the same, but practically it's better, because you get more confirmations that we are in an uptrend. Yes, it means that this area here is a little bit consolidating level where we're saying like, okay, up, down, up, down, up, down, up, but it's also confirmation of we are going up. So on the lower time frame, 5 minutes, 1 minute, I really love it. Here is the high, and then you have your pullback and you get out there. So I'm very realistic with you guys. If this would hit R6, I can say yes, you probably hit R6, and R6 is probably your take profit. You did not hit R6. Of course, you have multiple big green candles here, and you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 big candles. Then you have a what we call doji candle, like a candle without any body. And I should can look. I can zoom in more, especially to this trade. So you had your entry, you have your pullbacks. You go only back. You see here, you go only back to entry level. You're not. These ones are already above entry level, so you're all the time in blue. Just need to decide when you go out. Here, it's also way above entry level. So if you go out here, you go out, it's fine. Maybe it's very small. Yeah, we're talking about 2 pips, it's very small. But if you see 1 minute red and then boom, 1 minute green, you're happy again. And maybe you were so stressed this minute that here you say, okay, I will go out. Okay, fine, then you go out. Then you made 6 pips, it's fine. So short-term trading like this is, I would say, 6 or 11 pips. And I say always 6 because it's 5 for me, 1 for the broker. Or 11 is 10 for me, 1 for the broker. So if you look here, my take profit level will be within 10 pips, 10, 11 pips. So this one is not making it. It's 10, not 11. So if my take profit here was at 11, then you see I did not make my take profit. So which means that I'm not making my 11 pips, or I'm not reaching R6. So I'm not going to pretend that this software is always perfect and it will always hit your original take profit. But what it does is that here you have 2 red candles. You can choose to go out because you got so much green ones. You got a doji, you got 2 red ones. Then you kind of got another small green candle. So you maybe decide to stay in and expect that it will still go to your 11 pips. It doesn't 1, 2, 3 minutes in a row. Then your entry line becomes red, and that should be your decision. Thank you for the profit, I'm going out. And that profit will be about 7 pips, 6.7. So that's what we do on the 1 minute. And this is how you can have a blue trade, even though it's a little bit blue. And here it's maybe not even that blue, because we are talking about 2 pips about. This is like a 1, 2, 3 pip level. Let me see, this writes, it's 5 pips. So it will be blue, and then it will become back to entry, but you have a little bit of spread. So it will be blue, red, 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 blue. And then blue, 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 blue. And then pull back, get out in blue. And the goal is that, what I always say, to choose what kind of trader you are, because I'm going to zoom out and check it on the full day, and I want to answer some questions also. So what I really like is to go back to, let's say, the 5 minutes. So here we have that day. Here we have that day. I just want to recap it. So here you see the entries from the 15 minutes were only 2. The entries from the 5 minutes was 1, 2, and 3. So you had 2 options to trade. And then the 1 minute, we only zoomed in on this area. Instead of 1, we had 1 pull back 2, pull back 3. And those trades were all sharp entry, blue, 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 exit. Sharp entry, blue, 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 exit. Now, do you want to do this? That is your question, because some people just really like to go in here and with the 5 minute in this case, make 15 pips. It's fine, it's a great way of trading. 15 minute is great, 5 minute confirmation is a little bit better. I don't do that on my daily morning session because I'm a intraday trader with swing trading patience. That's always how I describe myself. So if I'm intraday trading, I don't have to look in so much details. And this is the question: how much detail do you want to know? Because the 15 minutes is just nice. You enter, you put your take profit at pivot level, you put your second take profit at R6 or even R8, and you will see what happens today. You're not constantly looking on your phone. You maybe still have a job. I have other things to do as well, so I'm not constantly trading. On days that I'm more actively trading, or let's say I want to make a certain amount of pips, I'm going to the 5 minutes because it gives me 1, 2, 3 entries on this chart. So it gives me a little bit better, sorry, on the 15 minutes it would be 1 long right. I was saying it wrong. On the 15 minutes it would be a 22 pips right. On the 5 minutes I would have 2 entries. But if I really want to be in control of my trading and I really want to be on the 1 minute time frame, to see minute by minute what's happening and to take the 3 perfect trades out of that line, you will find me on the 1 minute. But don't just start on the 1 minute, and don't even just start on the 5 minutes, because you only have a 15-minute confirmation, and for me that's not strong enough. So I want to see the 1 hour confirmation on the M15. But the cool part is you need to go there to switch pairs. Then you go to 5 minutes and you see, okay, this is an uptrend. I'm only thinking about buying. So on a wild day, especially the 1 minute and also the 5 minute, they can even give you sell candles on that day. Don't do that. Don't go, even if you see arrows for short-term sells, don't do it. You have identified an uptrend for that day. So you say, I'm only going to be in here looking for buys. Why? Because it takes 50% of the guessing away. We only have 2 options, buy or sell. And if you say, I'm not going to sell, then you know you're only going to buy. And then if you are not having a perfect entry and you maybe enter here and you're basically having an uptrend, then the point is that you know that even though you maybe get into a little bit of trouble, you can get out early, or you can just stay in, become intraday trader and hit profit on the next day. So that is a choice for you. Now, I hope this was really, really useful. I hope that you guys understand the power of the lower time frames as well. I am going to upload this session on YouTube as well. And I'm going to check if there's any questions from the Go Live platform. And let's see how we're going. Bas, I saw you didn't growing small accounts to the schedule this week. Is there a chance we can talk about that a bit? So growing small accounts, guys, just means more work and more attention. So if I need to answer that in one sentence, go to the smaller time frames, because you will technically make more money. Second thing is that if you are so much in control, minute to minute basis, you can go on a little bit higher lot size, which is risky, but you are more in control. So you enter, and then even if you make 3, 4, 5 pips, if you do it on a proper lot size, it will benefit you. The higher time frames also have higher risk. So with the small accounts, you want to have a lot of small entries, a lot of small profits till it becomes a bigger account. And if you are trading with what we know smaller stop losses, so on the 1 minute you will have very small stop loss, you know small stop loss, small take profit. And small stop loss means that you can use a bigger lot size than if you would trade on a higher time frames with a bigger stop loss. Then you need to be more careful about your lot size. So how to grow a small account? Trade a lot. A lot. That's the only thing. Trade a lot. Training is great and just upgrade it. Yeah, it's very important to have the infinity tools, guys. Very important. What book? Market Structure and Price Action. I'm not such a book boy. I will put them in Canada, Texas, France, Calgary. Again, same question. I'm not really a market structure, price action book person. You can read all kinds of technical analysis books. They will explain this kind of Elliott wave and market structure things. Houston, Brooklyn. Hello, boss. When I reach my daily goal, for example, 3%, and take profit is not reached, would you suggest to close the trade manually or move stop loss closely to secure 3%? Instead of waiting for take profit. So what I would do, Sabine, is that when I have my daily goal, I basically quit. So if you reach your total 3% and you have still open trades and you count that trade into open trade, you only have your 3% when you actually close, because that profitable trade that you still have open might not end profitable. It might go back, or you indeed put your stop loss close, but then it hits your stop loss and you're maybe on 2.3 or 2.5 or 2.8%. So what I basically do is, if I have a 3% daily goal and I reach it, it depends a little bit on the time of the day maybe, but my basic goal is to close everything and say, okay, thank you for today, see the markets tomorrow again. If it's early, you might want to take the risk that it goes to 2.8 or 3.2, because if you have 3.2, the positive part about 3.2 is that you have a little bit of more space for tomorrow. So Sabina, you asked Mike this question. Okay, so this is what I would say. Someone said I can't hear anything, try to refresh. What's going on with the GBP pairs? GBP is up and down, guys. GBP is crazy because of all the corona news there, the Brexit related things that are going on. So GBP, like, I'm just repeating, I'm not trading this week. It's a volatile market between Christmas and New Year. I'm not really trading. Boss, I have to know, did you grow the 1K account to 70K only with trades that you called out in Go Live? Yes. I didn't do any trades extra. So did you take other trades on that account? No, but we grew very quickly together, January, February. Then we had a dip in March. We didn't really recover in April, and it became a little bit easier around summer again. We had a really nice, between, let's say, two European lockdown situations, we had normal trading times. Then we had second lockdown, and then I got into the hospital with corona myself. So that's basically how my year went in one sentence. So, but all trades were only given on the live sessions or extra on the Telegram and the Pip Talk channels. The dots change color. Yes, the dots are changing color when the minor trend line is changing color. So when you are seeing red dots, you already know you shouldn't be trading because the minor trend line is red. So those dots are for the really higher time frames. For that I refer to the other videos about swing trading. They are to determine your, to move up your stop loss step by step. But the color is connected to the minor trend line. So when the minor trend line becomes red, the dots become red as well, and that means that you should not enter. And as long as they are green in your uptrend, they are all good. I don't see it here as example. Is your kid okay? Yeah, US is completely okay. The strategy I'm using is the Infinity strategy. You can find it under pivots im/infinity here. If it's grayed out, you can upgrade it for $10 in the shopping cart of the IM Academy. After you have pivots, if you have elite package, you have pivots in already. Otherwise, you need to buy pivots first and then upgrade to Infinity to see how this strategy is working. Learning a lot. Can you write indicators in the chat? So tomorrow is about indicators, guys. So we are going back to the top because I saw that Jos made put my message in there. Thank you, Jos. Just copy pasting it onto the chart. So this is basically the schedule. Hello. So this is the schedule today. Today we discussed short-term trading with Infinity. Tomorrow we will add extra useful indicators to Infinity. Wednesday we are going to trade gold, silver, like look into how to trade gold, silver, UK oil, US oil, exotics and crypto. And on Thursday we're going to prepare for 2001. If you want to check the last year sessions about hedging, account management, traders motivation, and how to make a trading plan, there's 4 holiday sessions that you can find on my YouTube channel and also on my Dutch Go Live channel under the favorites. So you need to go to Go Live, language Dutch, then find me, and then you can see the holiday sessions from last year. They're in English, but I did them with my Dutch channel. I don't know why. I had a good reason at that moment. That was last year. So those were the 4 holiday sessions, and this will be 5, 6, 7, and 8, continuing that tradition, because from this year it is a tradition to do holiday sessions when we are not trading. So I want to thank you all for joining today. I hope you're gonna have a great day today. If you're trading, watch out in the markets. It's gonna be volatile, it's gonna be up and down. Not a lot of volume, but when there's someone with volume trading, markets can go up and down, which means that your nice uptrend might turn into very big red candles without you understanding why. So I would really watch out trading this week. I hope to see you guys tomorrow. We will learn a lot about other indicators that are nice additions to the Infinity tools. Thank you so much for joining today, and hope to see you guys all tomorrow. Bye bye.